Hey, it's Joe Amoia, the Ambassador for Love, and today we're going to talk about something really confusing and really controversial, and that's online dating. Is it really worth it? Well, I want to start off by explaining online dating is a lot like sushi. You've got those individuals who have tried it and actually enjoy it, and then you have those other individuals who have tried it and have had a really bad experience, and they're not going anywhere near it again. And then you have a third group who want to try it, they're intrigued by it, but they've heard some stories. They've heard of some others' bad experiences, so they're kind of afraid. So if you're watching this, you've probably fallen into one of those three categories. Now, is online dating worth it? I think so, and I'm going to explain why. Now, first, in all transparency, I'm going to explain that I actually met my wife online several years ago. Now, this was in the age before online dating was really in vogue and really was popular. And honestly, if you would have told me 15 years ago that I would have met my wife online, over a computer, I would have laughed. I would have called you every name in the book, and I would have bet everything I owned against it. Because, see, I thought that stuff was for losers. That stuff was for desperate people. And so I wouldn't have been caught up in anything like that. Well, that's the funny thing about life. My grandfather said, don't spit up because sometimes it comes down. Well, sometimes we find ourselves in positions and doing things that we never would imagine doing. So the reason why I think online dating is so beneficial is, first and foremost, where else can you meet somebody without leaving the comfort of your own home, your own office, or now with a smartphone, you could literally be sitting at the beach and engaging with a potential mate. So that in and of itself is awesome. Why I also think online dating is great is because it gives you a chance to kind of get to know somebody before you're actually on a date with them. What I found when I was doing online dating with the women that I mentor is that, if they sit back and they keep their eyes and ears open and they know how to ask the right questions, they quickly figure out, is this even a guy I want to pursue? No matter how great the picture is, they're seeing that, what, it's a nice guy, not the right guy for me. Or maybe they're saying, what, this is the wrong guy. I got to stay way clear away from this guy. So there's a lot of benefits to online dating. But I want you to understand this. Online dating is a game. Now, let me preface this by saying that doesn't mean that you play games, because I am not an advocate of playing games. I think if you're going to be in a relationship with someone, you've got to show up from the first phone call, from the first email, as your 100% authentic true self. Because, excuse me, one of the big problems in online dating is people pretend to be something that they're not. They say and do things just so the other person will like them. And then once the other person starts to like them, they reveal their true self. And then the person goes, well, I don't even like you. Who the hell are you? That's happened to you, hasn't it? Well, I believe you got to show up from day one as your true, authentic self. So realize that it's a game. There are certain rules, there are certain strategies, there are certain things that you have to do to put yourself in position to win. So you can also win the online dating game and create the results that you're looking for. And three tips that will help you do that is, first and foremost, is you got to get clear. You got to know, what is your end goal? What is it you're trying to create? Are you just looking to have some fun? Are you looking for a serious relationship that's ultimately going to lead to commitment and marriage? Because that's your goal. And so if that's your goal, your actions have to be in alignment with that. And you can't be afraid to communicate that to a guy, because if he's looking for a relationship, he won't have a problem. When I first met my wife, it was clear that's what she was looking for. But I didn't mind, because that's what I was looking for. So I kind of like, oh, we're on the same page. Now let's see if we're really compatible for each other. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get clear and honest with yourself. The second thing you need to do is keep your eyes and ears open. The red flags are always, always, always there. So you simply have to sit back, keep your eyes and ears open, and let them show themselves. Because if they're there, they always will. And one of the ways you do that is by not rushing into things. The need to love, the need to be loved is so wired into us that we try so hard to make it happen. And we try and rush into things, and we jump into things, and we do things that we shouldn't do because the time isn't right for that. So one of the best things you can do to help yourself in the online dating game is to simply sit back, okay, and let the process play out. Because at the end of the day, whatever guy you're pursuing is either going to be the right guy or the wrong guy. So there's no need to rush it. Now, I'm not saying you have to wait a year for that, you know, just, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, just date somebody, get to know them before you're emotionally invested. Because if you jump in and you sleep with the guy, or, you go on a first date and you focus on how hot he is and how great the chemistry is, what you're going to do is you're going to miss the red flags because you're so focused on how great and how exciting everything is. And that stuff wears off. You know, that's adrenaline. That's your hormones speaking. It's the oxytocin. It's all those hormones and chemicals and emotions that cause you to focus on what's right but miss what's wrong. So if you simply follow these 3 tips by getting clear and being honest with yourself, by keeping your eyes and ears open, and by not rushing into things, you're going to make it so much easier on yourself, and you're going to find out that online dating can actually be a really enjoyable experience. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to hear from you. What do you think? Have you tried online dating? What's been your experience? Or maybe you have some questions. Maybe you have some concerns. If you do, what I'd love you to do is, because I want to hear from you. So I want you to go to the comment box below, and I want you to write your experience, your feedback, and your questions. Because remember, we're here to help. And the key to having the relationship that you ultimately want is to do things smarter. I'll see you next week. Have a great one. God bless.